The year 2009 began with a fight. The by-elections in Tirumangalam, a small town in the Madurai district. Polling day witnessed unprecedented levels of violence, but nevertheless there was a healthy voter turnout. Despite the opposition party's allegations that the polls were rigged, the ruling DMK's candidate Lata Adiyaman won with an impressive margin of 40,000 votes. This victory was a morale booster for the DMK-led Democratic Progressive Alliance ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. It was not long before political parties began to gear up for the Lok Sabha elections. The state witnessed the formation of new political alliances. The left parties dumped the ruling DMK and crossed over to the AIADMK camp, while the PMK revived its ties with Amma after a 7-year break. Electioneering turned up the heat on Tamil Nadu's political landscape. The plight of the Sri Lankan Tamils and the pro-Eelam rhetoric was high on the campaign agenda. Jayalalitha went on a hunger strike. In the process, the battle lines were drawn clear.
The Indian government was supplying arms, ammunition and training to the Sri Lankan armed forces.
And it was obvious that the Sri Lankan Tamils issue would be the opposition's major poll plank. For a moment, it seemed that the ruling DMK Congress combine was cornered. But the 86-year-old Karunanidhi reacted quickly, proving along the way that despite his age, his fighting spirit remained intact. He went on an indefinite hunger strike. The ongoing Sri Lankan war continued to impact the state, echoing on the election scene. Having kept herself away from the Tamil Eelam cause, Jayalalitha's complete U-turn on the issue surprised many. Her campaign favouring a Tamil Eelam as the only solution to the Sri Lankan ethnic crisis puzzled many a political analyst. Most predicted a win for Amma, some even hoped for it, but nothing is a given in politics, and the result surprised everyone. The DMK managed a resounding win despite the anti-incumbency factor. But the celebrations in the DMK camp did not last long.
My leader, Dr. Kalaignar Karunanidhi, has advised me to inform you that DMK will support from outside.
Confusion set in within the DMK and the Congress alliance over the allocation of plum portfolios. After 4 days of high drama, the DMK finally agreed to be a part of Manmohan Singh's cabinet. Karunanidhi's Madurai-based son M.K. Alagiri saw himself being made cabinet minister. The focus then shifted from one son to another. 56-year-old M.K. Stalin had played a pivotal role in ensuring the DMK's victory in the general elections. Almost saluting the effort, Karunanidhi elevated Stalin to the newly created post of Deputy Chief Minister, sparking rumours of his impending succession to the DMK throne. Across in the opposition camp, uncertainty prevailed after the election results were declared. The PMK had turned out to be the biggest loser, drawing a complete blank. A disappointed Jayalalitha left for her Kodanadu estate in Nilgiris district on an extended vacation, returning to the political hotbed only 4 months later. Another test lay in wait for political parties. By-elections were announced to 5 assembly constituencies. The AIADMK boycotted the polls, alleging electoral malpractice. This further hit the morale of the party cadres. The AIADMK soon lost its allies too, the left and the PMK. It was not surprising that the DMK had the last laugh. Then the Congress captured the headlines because of this man. Rahul Gandhi's 3-day visit to the state was to sell the party as the latest attraction to the youth. The ruling DMK was left a little uncomfortable, but Congress party leaders believed that Rahul's visit would reap dividends and revolutionize its image. Tamil Nadu continued to stay in the news for statute diplomacy with Karnataka over the Hogenekkal and the decades-old Kaveri water dispute. It marked the thawing of ice between the two states, but the ghost of Mullai Periyar never stopped haunting the DMK government. A war of words ensued between Chief Minister Karunanidhi and his Kerala counterpart V.S. Achuthanandan. The opposition in the state also seized the opportunity and slammed the government for failing to secure the state's rights over the Mullai Periyar Dam. The neighbouring state of Andhra Pradesh saw turmoil over the Telangana issue. Close on the heels of the centre agreeing to initiate action, the demand for bifurcation of Tamil Nadu also surfaced. This time the call came from the PMK and the section of lesser-known political outfits. But the Dravidian majors, the DMK and the AIADMK, took no time in nipping the call in the bud. Back in the news again was the DMK chief. The patriarch hinted at retirement from active politics, sparking speculation. Party cadres and political analysts are debating the chief minister's sudden announcement and the implications of succession. However, Karunanidhi has left everyone guessing, saying an announcement will come only in June 2010. As the year drew to a close, work still remained. By-elections to the Tiruchendur and Vandavasi constituencies were announced. The AIADMK entered the fight in part to teach a lesson to its former cadre Anita Radhakrishnan, who had defected to the DMK. He contested as the DMK candidate in Tiruchendur, but there was only more disappointment in store for the opposition camp. The DMK emerged the winner in both the constituencies by impressive margins. The DMDK, considered the alternative to the established giants, failed to make a mark. 2009 has been a politically active year of ups and downs, and there could be much more ahead. With Bureau Inputs, Shabir Ahmed for NDTV Hindu.
When we come back, let's watch whether Chennai's changing cityscape is sustainable. Stay with us for more on that.